Well, from weather conditions to ag labor shortages, the produce industry has faced a number of hurdles as well as opportunities over the past year. One man has watched it very closely, meeting face-to-face with growers across the Southeast for firsthand perspective. You probably know who I'm talking about. Chip Carter with Southeast Produce Weekly joins us now with the latest. Thanks for joining us, Chip.
Hey, Christina, thanks for letting me be here. Yeah, I meet with farmers not just from the Southeast, from all across the country. So much of it comes together in the Southeast. There's so much happening here. This is really becoming a power base for the industry. The Southeast doesn't have some of the pressures that the West Coast has.
Right.
Don't have the water pressures, don't have the labor pressures. There's a much friendlier business climate in the Southeast.
The pandemic pressures are different.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
I mean, tell me, as we were making this new TV show, we'll talk about the pandemic pressures and trying to get into California to film. Yeah. It's just, so there's no California in season one. What we've seen, I'm just back from the Southeast Fruit and Vegetable Growers Show in Savannah. We spent the last 3 or 4 days there. And what farmers are looking for right now is to be able to maintain a workforce. Yeah. That's the immediate short range, COVID related, having enough people to come to work and get the job done. The other short range that's impacting every part of all of our lives right now is a supply chain.
Yes.
If you can't get chemicals, if you can't get seed, if you can't get transplants, it makes everything a lot more difficult. And these are issues that right at this moment, no one has answers for.
No, and it's hard because we often don't have the right questions at this moment either. And you are working face-to-face with legislators in Washington, D.C., trying to help fix or remedy some of these problems our farmers are going through. It's kind of a challenging time right now. Talk about some of the stories that will be on display in your new show.
Well, I've got bad news about Washington. They don't know what's going on either.
Oh, shocker. You're shocking us.
You know, they're sitting there, what are we going to do about this? They're kind of like, we don't know. Don't tell anyone, but we're not sure yet.
Yeah.
So you know, for the last 12 years, I've been in this industry, and I haven't been doing it from a desk. I haven't been doing it from behind the wheel of a car riding by. I've been doing it literally out in the dirt with the people who grow our food and bring us our food, and not just them. We start at the land-grant university research laboratories, looking at the work that's being done there. What's the next great variety of something? What's the next great, how do we prevent losing a citrus industry to a disease called greening?
Yeah.
But we've learned so many amazing things, and then we follow it from beyond the farm and show you all the logistical process, the transportation process. But it's not just, we're not just showing you pictures of things going on at a farm and how it gets here. We're dealing with the issues behind that.
Isn't it crazy sometimes when you think about it? Citrus greening disease is so prominent. It makes such a difference in our lives, in all of our lives, but you don't hear about it on the mainstream media.
Later in season one, you sure are, because we've got a 2-part episode on citrus greening. We've got, we're trying to show the full scope of agriculture, and especially on the produce and specialty crop side. We'll be branching out a little bit in season 2. But in season 1, we kind of stay with what we already knew. We had some geographic limitations because it was just so hard to travel. So some of, I think, our best stories, we met a firefighter who, number one, that's a heroic profession. Number two, now he grows $300,000 worth a year of gourmet mushrooms in his garage. So it's just been a joy. It's just been a joy, and we just cannot wait to share these stories with America. We're so excited about it.
From firefighter to fungi producer.
Yeah,
Can't wait to meet him.
But he still drives the fire truck, and he says he'll never give that up.
God bless him. All right, well, thank you. We look forward to hearing these stories, and we're glad you're in town all week. Host of Where the Food Comes From, Chip Carter with Southeast Produce Weekly. Thank you so much for joining us.